It is here. Happy chapter day. This is Boruto 69 Captives. And in today's review, we're going to break this down into 4 categories, with the first being my general feeling about the chapter, followed by the next generation shinobi, Sasuke, and finally, the battle. Now overall, I thought this chapter was a fun read. The cover was dope. I liked the colorway, the pose. I really wasn't too much of a big Delta fan, but I don't know, something about that cover won me over with her. Another thing I appreciated about this chapter was that it felt like we had the full squad involved. Usually it's just like a 3-man thing, and I get it, we have been going through like battles lately, but shit, everybody was in this aside from like Team 10. However, some may be turned off about this thing as they may want to see more action. On the other hand, I'm on the opposite end. I like seeing more characters, more dialogue, explanations, all that. Another thing I noticed is that Kishimoto has added a layer of comedy when it comes to his writing in this series. Before that, it was just more straightforward action, explanation, here's a little bit of a lore, and that's pretty much it. However, with Kishimoto, he snuck in humor with Kuruma's death, Boruto popping the pills, and most recently, Ada. Ada actually won me over with her whole love infatuation with Kawaki this chapter, because once exposed to Shikamaru, it actually made me laugh. I don't know, it was just something about that moment that kind of reminded you, oh, we're here to be entertained. This is funny, right? And I know it's gonna be a few freaky sites gonna have a field day between the whole Delta and Ada conversation this chapter. Even there was a funny moment with Delta falling in love with Ada, so that was dope too. But as for Ada, initially I wasn't really feeling her motivation until witnessed in this chapter that it worked in its own way. It made me laugh. Now, I don't know if anyone else would feel that same way. Maybe they want her to be a bit more menacing. She still has that evil, that final villain type of vibe, but we'll see. Now, my next point are the next gen shinobi, specifically Mitsuki, Sarada, and Sumire. I think their actions and dialogue are representative to their whole class of shinobi, so what we can take from their involvement in this chapter we could apply to the rest. From the conversation alone between Mitsuki and Sarada, you can assume that there's going to be some type of training upcoming, but more specifically, training for a battle with Otsutsuki. And the reason why I mentioned Sumire as well is because now she is a +1 as far as who knows about the Boruto killing. So between Sarada and Mitsuki, now inspired to rescue their friend or be able to secure their friend from future threats, we have Sumire, who has been working with the technology and may now be inspired to develop weapons or medicine capable of taking down an Otsutsuki level threat. So for those who may find it difficult to naturally meet the power levels of a Kawaki or Boruto or any other Otsutsuki, we may now have to rely on technology once again. And it may be even possible for a Mitsuki or a Sarada, who are already OP for their generation, they may need some technology as well. I also believe that there's room for Boruto and Sasuke to continue training, just based off the words of Sarada in this chapter, once again starting to become more jealous of their relationship. So that could be another motivating factor, causing her to train harder with Mitsuki as she watches from afar Sasuke and Boruto continue to grow. Now, bleeding into my next point, Sasuke. Now, some may argue, why would Boruto need to train with Sasuke? He's pretty much already an Otsutsuki. He has Momoshiki within him. Maybe he could convince Momoshiki to help him. Well, the thing is, Sasuke feels guilty for not being around the last time, so I think he would want to be a little bit more close to Boruto, just in case he has to be the one to fulfill the role Kawaki once played, taking out Boruto if necessary. I also thought some of Sasuke's dialogue was pretty funny, how he was saying the community should be mad at me, I wasn't around, because it also mirrors what a lot of people were saying within the Boruto community. Where the hell was Sasuke? We on red alert. They had questions for Sasuke. They was questioning my dude, and it was valid. But with that being said, Sasuke gave me probably my favorite moment of this whole chapter, when he and Boruto were talking about the resolve of brothers, because I wonder in that moment, was he thinking about Itachi and his fight? But you know what I'm saying? How Itachi, nigga, this is for you, bruh. I'm doing this shit for you, nigga. Take me out. And Sasuke being Sasuke had to leave us on a very ambiguous note. And finally, the battle. In these scenes, Amado was very much appreciated as he broke down Ada's abilities, while at the same time MVP Shikamaru was exposing the weaknesses of her abilities. And one of the more important things of this chapter was the fact that Amado was shaking, sweating, all that. He had damn near was emotionless when it came to Ashiki and his invasion of Konoha. Ada, she built different. And the fact that Amado was so scared made it easier for us to trust him, as he was explaining that damn near it's almost about to be a wrap. Your brain, you might fuck up your mind if you try to fight her power, Shikamaru. Like all of this, this is the first time I actually believed in Amato's words. We also learned more about Delta, or at least this version of Delta, as she does not recognize or know Ada, and she isn't an android. She is a cyborg. She does have human elements as she is affected by the power of Ada. But as mentioned earlier, Shikamaru is the MVP, as he does expose that there is a weakness of Ada. He can use his shadow paralysis, as it does not try to hurt her, just traps her. And he is once again goated, as he is able to create a plan on the spot and potentially saves both Naruto and Sasuke.